The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. I have a very special and entertaining guest for you today, Jonathan Vega. Jonathan is with the Jonathan Vega Group, not in Miami, but in Pinecrest, Florida. How are you, Jonathan?
That's it. It's not Miami. It's Pinecrest.
It's not Miami, it's Pinecrest. And I'm going to tell all my listeners right now, if you don't go to this young man's site and check out what he's going on, you're missing out. You're missing out. Hey, welcome to the show, my friend. I got to ask, were you 6 years old, tugging on your mom's, pant leg going, hey, Mom, I want to be a realtor one day, or did you fall into it? I mean, what's the story there?
No, so I actually did not do that. I did when I was younger. I did see, I always was fascinated because I kind of grew up in Pinecrest, and Pinecrest has these big houses. So I was always fascinated by houses. I remember always driving on the way to school, and I'd be like, Mom, that's going to be my house one day. That's going to be my lot, and I'm going to build my house, my mansion on there one day. Nice. And then one day somebody else built on that lot, and I started crying and whatnot. I didn't cry, but I was upset. I was
hey, man, it's okay. Let the emotions flow. Let the emotions flow.
So I've always loved real estate, but never thought of even selling real estate. Never thought of that. But life always has a plan for you. And right when I got my first car, my mom told me I had to start working, so I would have to pay the gas and everything. She introduced me to some parents that their kids needed some help with homework helping. So long story short, I was a tutor in high school. One of the parents that I tutored the kids, she worked in real estate here in Sotheby's, and she basically, when I graduated high school, she told me to come work with her. I became her assistant. I did that for 3 years, and while I was in FIU studying full time. And then in those 3 years, I just learned that I loved real estate just because I could just make it how I wanted. I could just be myself and have fun with what I do and make money while doing it. So that's kind of how I got into it. That's like the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, that is definitely the abbreviated version, but that's fine, man.
Yeah.
So you got into real estate, you worked as an assistant, boom, you're going to FIU. So you decided to become a realtor. What happens then? I mean, did you join a team? Were you, you tell the story about being on, someone's assistant. Were you just like a solopreneur right away and stayed that way and started building your own team? And also, I got to know, for people who haven't seen the video yet or his website, obviously I talk to realtors all the time and I love talking to local realtors. My listeners know I'm down here in Southeast Florida. I wouldn't have it any other way. Obviously you still sell Miami, but Pinecrest is your sphere, right? It's your sphere of influence for homes. Why Pinecrest? And tell me a little bit about how you run your business in Pinecrest.
Pinecrest, I've always gravitated towards it, rather, because I grew up there. Right? I went to Pinecrest Elementary. My mom was a teacher at Pinecrest Elementary. She was actually my teacher as well in fourth grade. But it's I got a name in the class. But I went to Pinecrest Elementary, Palmetto Middle, and then I went to Coral Reef, which is a little further south. So I kind of just grew up in the area, and it just felt like home. So I guess you always tend to gravitate to where you're from, right? Where you grow up. So that's where I kind of gravitated towards. But it's not the only place I do business. I do a lot in Brickell as well. I do a lot in Gables, South Miami. So I would say it's from Pinecrest up to Brickell, kind of those areas in between Pinecrest, South Miami, Coral Gables, Coconut Grove, and Brickell. It's just where I've gravitated towards because I just know, you tell me an address and I know how to get there without GPS, without maps or anything. I could just get there, right? So that's kind of the place where I've gravitated towards. I feel comfortable there. Now I feel comfortable everywhere, but it's just initially where I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
I started doing open houses for other agents. I did work on a team at one point. After I was an assistant, I worked on a team. And then I kind of went on my own and I was like a solopreneur, but I was helping other agents. So I was helping them with open houses. I was helping them with showings. I was helping them with being at inspections. I just wanted to be in real estate, like always possible. And if it was for free, I did it for free. I did it for more so like me learning and just being out there,
Yeah.
right? So open houses, doing those for other agents was like huge for me. That's how I learned how to show homes, learned how to talk to people, met people in the community, right? Met a lot of people. I met a lot of cool people through open houses for other agents. So that's definitely something that's helped. Definitely.
Very nice. Very nice. So tell me this, what is, it's hard to figure this out sometimes, but a guy like you always has a plan, you probably do have a plan. So what does the next 1 or 3 to 5 years look like for you? I mean, what do you see happening in your life as a realtor?
I've definitely already kind of transitioned from it being just about me to me being about us, building a culture, building a family. I'm huge on family. I spend a lot of time with my family on the weekends. And I want to build that same culture, that same kind of influence amongst with the people who work with me, right? So I would like to build something bigger than just me. So the next 3 to 5 years is definitely about growth. It's about doing things that are different against the grain. I don't want to do anything. We all do things that other people do, but I want to focus heavily on doing things nobody does, like creating the music about neighborhoods, certain things like that just set me apart from the competition, set me apart from everybody else, building something bigger than myself. And then when I do, my motto is Miami's future #1 realtor. That's my title on Instagram. That's my title. As I say that in all my songs. Once I do get there, I do that not for myself, but once I get there, I'd like to show other people how I did it and help other people or other agents attain that success as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I definitely believe once that day you wake up and decide it's a for others mentality versus for yourself, no matter what, money will come, right? But that gratification you get every day waking up and feeling good about it. I'm going to ask you a favor. Can you repeat that motto again?
Miami's future #1 realtor.
There you go. Okay. There's a reason I asked you to repeat that, because I'm gonna put it on your thumbnail.
That's it. That's it.
Right?
That's it. That's it. That's
Right?
it. I love that.
I'm putting it on your thumbnail, brother.
Look, I've had it in my Instagram bio or description probably for the last 3 years. And I understand it's not going to happen overnight. I understand it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in a year. It's not going to happen in 2 years, but maybe in 3, maybe in 4, maybe in 5, maybe in 6.
We can make it happen.
Or maybe
we can make it happen in 2.
Or maybe it happens exactly, or maybe it happens in 2, right? But we have our goal right over here. This year we're going to sell 100 million. And if we're shooting for the stars, and we're always going to shoot and have that mentality that we're closing $100 million deals. Because if you don't look at your future self and think, what would that future person do? Then you're just living in the moment. But you got to think about the future. You got to get excited about what's going to come.
Yeah, I love it. I love the enthusiasm for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, like if I came down and to Pinecrest, and my barber's down there, he's close to, he's right on the border of Coral Gables, Pinecrest area. So you never know when I'll just show up. Don't worry. So I come down and we visit, and we have a little espresso that I saw you kicking back there. We're talking. You're going to tell me about your day-to-day, let's say. And there's always going to be something, and I don't care how brilliant any of us are, there's always going to be something we wish we could fix, right? We wish there was something we could do better. We wish there was something that on a day-to-day we could have handled for us. What is it in your day-to-day, Jonathan, that you go, man, I've got to get that taken care of? It's not on my whiteboard behind me. It's not, in my notes. It's not on my phone. But I really need to start getting this. Is it more time in your day? Is it more music videos? Is there something you'd like to do more of or have something taken care of? I always like to say, is there like a hindrance that's always in the back of your mind? Or do you live in utopia and it's perfect?
Man, there's always stuff in my mind. There's so many things in my mind sometimes that I'm like, I can't even keep up with them. But I just started doing, I just downloaded Todoist for my team as well. I don't know if you've heard of Todoist or you use it, but it's the best thing in this world. And I literally just have an idea and I just pop it up in there and I just put a day for when I'm going to do it and share it and whatever. So, I mean, look, everything that comes up in my mind, I always try to tackle right away, especially as of lately. I learned with myself that there's so many things that I want to do. And and that I can do, because everything that I put my mind to, I can do. It's just a matter of finding the time for it. So I guess if there was one thing I wish I could have more of, is time. That's the most valuable thing that we have. I've really, I would like to make more music. I would like to do more property tours. I would like to do better quality property tours. There's so many different things I'd like to do. But I'm just trying to find other people, I guess, too, the resources to execute. Not even so much like the money. It's just more so finding the right people, right?
Right.
You know, I'm lucky that I have good people in my support system. A lot of people that have built kind of like a team, not only my team, but a team with videographers, a team with producers, you know, all of that. So I guess just upping the quality and quantity of it would be something. But I mean, right now, I've literally had so many things that I've been wanting to do or wanted to do, and I've just been executing on it. So I've always tried to find, like, if I have something that comes in my mind, all right, what's the plan of action to actually do it? And I put a time on it and I end up doing it, right? So I'd say as of right now, it's just, you know, creating better quality content and maybe even more informational content to provide value to viewers.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So how would folks, you know, obviously we have a large influx of people to the area, Miami, Pinecrest, Coral Gables, all that area. To me, might as well be the hottest spot in America. I don't care what they say anywhere else. I don't know anybody that comes to visit and goes, man, this is a bad place to live. That doesn't happen, right?
I agree. I agree with you.
And yeah, I mean,
keep
all the way
visiting.
down.
The more
Yeah.
people that visit, the better it is for
Right?
me. So keep visiting.
Right. We'll keep them coming. And that goes, you know, I'm not defending my area, but that goes for pretty much all of the Southeast, you know, corridor, you know, down here. And if you haven't been, you got to make it down. How would someone get in touch with you or find you, Jonathan?
Every place you could possibly think of. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere. YouTube.
What do you got going on Spotify?
I got all my musics on Spotify.
Oh, you do?
Legit.
Oh my
legit
God,
to
I gotta check it out, because I just found myself on Spotify for my podcast, obviously, and I was like, hey, there I am, you know. But no, I'm gonna check it out, and I'll follow you on Spotify as well. Because...
And that's Suyapa. She works on the team.
Fantastic. No, I look forward to maybe getting a chance to meet your team at some point. So, you know, we're kind of winding down. We're hitting the last few minutes here, and go ahead and take us out. You know, I always say you're the hit and I'm the DJ, right? I'm just spinning the music. And you are the music man. So, you know, exactly. Right? I'm just that age, right? In the 90s, going to all the parties and the rave. So take us out. Tell us what's on your mind, your heart, your soul, you know, something you think you should share. It could be about work, it could be about Pinecrest, it could be about Southeast Florida. It's whatever you want, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess your main audience here is realtors, right?
It's about 50-50. I mean, you know, we get a lot of realtors, but we also get plenty of people that just want to hear more about real estate in certain areas. Obviously, the podcast is titled, you know, like if I, you know, Miami's future #1 people may want to hear that. You know what I mean? So it could be a mix of everything.
Yeah, it could be a mix for sure. Well, look, I'd say this. I mean, Miami is a very young city. It's a super young city. I just visited New York. New York is so old. But there's so much going on, but it's an old city, right? Buildings from the 1900s. I had a buddy who lives in a massive, really cool apartment, and it was built in 1903, and like brick walls and the vaulted ceilings and all that. And we don't have that here in Miami because the buildings are from the 2000s, especially in Brickell in the financial district. I mean, obviously we have older buildings from the 80s and the 70s and whatnot, but it's a very young city. And that you think of all the restaurants, the big locations coming down here to Miami, coming to Paramount Miami, you know, Miami World Center, right? You know, you're talking about Brickell City Center. Like Brickell City Center is from 2016. It's a massive mall.
Amazing.
And
yeah, it's amazing.
Walking and there's new buildings coming up. You have Baccarat, you have Waldorf Astoria, you have Cipriani, you have so many new developments and even office buildings, right? Like Ken Griffin and Citadel, they just leased up, you know, a massive space in a new building that they're doing in Brickell, and he's going to build a new office building in Brickell too. He just bought the most expensive property in Miami. So Miami's a young city. And I say that because, you know, right now the market, you know, markets, you know, might be shifting everywhere, right? But here we're still seeing 2 record-breaking sales just last week in Pinecrest. 10.5 and $10.25 million. Nothing's ever surpassed 10 million in Pinecrest. You're talking about in a time where the market's shifting, right? Obviously, it's not what it was before, but I think anybody's ever thinking right now, like, oh, should I buy or so?
Yeah.
You know, that's a very short-term mind of thinking. Miami is super young. There's still people coming in. It's like, and in 5 to 10 years, my opinion is whatever values we're seeing today, it's going to be much higher then. And maybe it'll go up and down. It'll have
Especially
its
down here.
fluctuations.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'll have
there's
its
only so much
fluctuations,
land on the water, right? I mean,
exactly.
we got a swamp behind us and an ocean to the other side of it.
Exactly.
Nowhere to go.
So I'm excited about Miami. I think Miami is a great place to be, you know, even anywhere in South Florida, honestly, you know, Florida, West Palm Beach down to over here. It's very exciting to see the future and how young the city is. And I say that because whenever anybody's investing here, you may think, oh my God, the price is so high compared to 2019, but 2019 is not even today. 2019 you could
gone.
It's gone and it's not coming back. And I wish it was coming back. I do. I wish I could buy
you and me both, man.
2019.
You and me both.
But you know, it's a young city, so
it's a young city. I always say you want to see the growth of, this is hilarious. You want to see the growth of Miami? Just watch the introduction to the Golden Girls when they fly over Miami, and then watch a flyover today. Now you're talking half my lifetime, right? I mean, you're talking like 1990 to 2023, right? So what, 30 years, about as long as I've been married, about as, you know, my oldest son's turning 30. So in that span of time though, if you look at what's happened, there's no other city, and I've been to some amazing cities, you know, I've lived in some amazing cities, and you've been to amazing, you know, but nothing like what's happened, especially in Miami. But I'll give Fort Lauderdale props, right? I'll give West Palm Beach props, but nothing like what's happened in Miami. And unless the world changes, and that's the key, right? There's over 80 languages spoken from West Palm Beach down to the Keys. Unless the world changes, that's not going to change, right? I mean, people are still going to want to come to America, and they're still going to, you know, it's not all just about immigrants, but it's a growing populace, you know, from all over the world, right?
Yeah.
I think that's just such an awesome thing about South Florida.
And the amount of people who came down during COVID, they're like, I'm just going to rent for a year, and then I'll go back to wherever I'm from.
And whatever.
And then we had the freaking craziness down here of people who were renting that they decided, I want to stay here. This is freaking amazing.
Why wouldn't you? Right.
Exactly. So
why would you go from Buffalo to here and go, oh, I just had 2 Cubanos and you know, a nice breakfast. Now I'm going down to whatever. I'm going down to Brickell, right? Go to Brickell for an hour, and you're like, why would I leave this place and go to, I don't know, man, go to Chi-Town, go to Chicago, you know? I could get into stats, you know, like there's no point in going back, my friend, you know?
Of course. Yeah. Awesome. So for any viewers who are out there, you know, just get excited about Miami. Miami is a great place to be. A lot going on, young city. And we have the best song coming out about Brickell actually too. So
can't wait.
Making it. Yeah, it's coming out this Friday, That Brickell Life. That Brickell, that Brickell life.
On Friday.
Yeah. That's it. So Friday it's released on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all of that. So, you know, it's a young city.
Yeah.
It's a young city, and we want to you know, make music about every single neighborhood in the city. Nice. So I'm going to be doing a song about Gables, Coconut Grove. You know, awesome. The future is going to be filled with a lot of music and dancing. So that's always great.
I will say this, it is a young city, but people in their 50s love Coconut Grove. Come on, man. It's laid back.
Even
it's
50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. I love
Coconut Grove, dude. Coconut Grove is awesome. I'm there all the time because obviously my son's at the U. But yeah, great place. There's all kinds of, you know, a lot of people don't know that either. All these little communities, you know, along the water, or not even inland, doesn't matter. Great communities. Check it out. Jonathan, thanks so much for being on the program. Hang with me real tight, but Jonathan Vega Group, I look forward to checking out your new song on Friday. I'll follow you today, and I'll check in with you in the future as well. Maybe come down and have a visit.
That's it, man. I'd love to see you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the time, and best of luck to all the viewers out there. Peace and love.